She spent more than 20 years on the run for her role in the murder of a Boston cop. But tonight, Katherine Ann Power is free.
A bust for the Bruins. The team opens the season on a sour note.
Shedding light on his decision to enlist in Vietnam. New letters show Vice President Al Gore's inner turmoil.
Plus, terminating the rumors. Arnold Schwarzenegger talks about his political future.
Live from WHDH-TV Boston, this is 7 News at 11 on the news station.
Good evening and thanks for being with us. Christopher May is enjoying the night off. Katherine Ann Power's prison sentence ends today.
It's the night team's top story. Power spent 2 decades on the run after a botched bank robbery led to a Boston police officer's murder. She turned herself in 1993, but tonight she's once again a free woman. The night team's Garvin Thomas has the story.
Katherine Ann, do you have anything you want to say to the Schroeder family?
She disappeared once for 23 years. By all accounts, she plans to do it again. Saying nothing, letting only the grin on her face tell her story, Katherine Ann Power takes her first steps this morning on her way out of Massachusetts. This time, though, as a free woman, not a fugitive. It is the last chapter of a story almost 3 decades old. It is 1970. Power and 4 others plan to rob a Brighton bank. But Boston police officer Walter Schroeder is shot and killed during the crime. Power, who was supposed to drive the getaway car, gets away herself.
Charge you with murder in the first degree.
She emerges 23 years later, saying she is ready to pay for her crime.
I cannot possibly say in words how sorry I am for the death of Officer Schroeder.
A 6-year sentence, one that Schroeder's family and many Bostonians think is too light, was served. With time off for good behavior, that sentence ended outside MCI Framingham this morning. Through her lawyer, Power released a statement saying today marks the payment of my legal debt for my role in the murder of Walter Schroeder. But I will always carry my human responsibility for the sorrow my actions have caused.
A brother-in-law of Katherine Ann Power says his newly freed relative has plans to visit her native Colorado in the next few months and will probably travel to Oregon as well. But other than that, he says he really isn't sure what Power will do now that she is free. Her husband says he hasn't spoken with her for the past year. Live in the newsroom, Garvin Thomas, 7 News Night Team.
Garvin, thank you. And new at 11 tonight, 6 people hospitalized after a car wreck in Chelsea. 2 cars were involved in this accident at Williams and Winsimitt Streets. Williams Street is now closed. Both cars rolled over, and officials say many of the victims were thrown from the vehicles, but none of the injuries appears to be life-threatening. A United States congressman wants to kill the mob hitman deal made right here in Boston. John Martirano admitted to 20 murders and faces a 12 to 12-and-a-half-year sentence in prison. In exchange, he'll testify against fellow mobsters. A federal judge needs to approve the deal, though. But the House Majority Leader, Dick Armey, wants the Attorney General, Janet Reno, to throw it out. He calls it simply a slap on the wrist. No response yet from Reno.
Now the latest on the scandal at the state treasury. A new report suggests a fundraiser for former state treasurer Joe Malone appeared to have too much influence at the treasury. The Boston Globe says Richard Arrighi and 4 others wrote a report on how the treasury should choose banks for depositing public funds. Arrighi's law firm held contracts with the agency. Arrighi was one of 7 people indicted last week for allegedly stealing more than $9 million from the state.
Also tonight, a plan to put a communications antenna inside a church steeple sparked some controversy. Fallen Church in Lexington leased its steeple to Nextel. The company is putting a microwave antenna inside there. Neighbors protested, citing health concerns, and now the church wants out of that deal. But Nextel says the antenna is safe and it's not breaking the contract.
Decades-old letters shed light on Al Gore's decision to serve in Vietnam. A set of 1966 letters to his then-future wife, Tipper, show the inner conflict Gore felt at the time. In the letters, Gore spoke of the courage of a fellow Harvard freshman who left school to serve. It's been suggested that Gore served to help his father's Senate re-election. The letters will be published next week in Talk Magazine.
Sports now, the Bruins have a bear of a time at the Fleet. They're blown away in their season opener. They played the Carolina Hurricanes in a rematch of the team they beat in the playoffs last year. The Bees may be missing their holdout goalie, Byron Defoe. Our George Smith has details now from the 7 Sports Desk. George?
Well, John, not quite the beginning the Bees were hoping for. Boston gets knocked off 3-1 in the first game of the season. Let's take a look. Captain of the century, Milt Schmidt, drops the ceremonial first puck. It looked like it would be a good night for the Bruins. Ray Bourque scores early in the second period, putting the Bees in front 1-0. Fitting that the captain starts the scoring this season. But Carolina scored 3 unanswered goals. Kent Manderville beats backup goalie Rob Tallis for the eventual game winner. So Boston loses for the first time in 13 season openers. Highlights and post-game interviews a little later in sports.
All right, George, thank you. Amtrak is trying to start its new bullet train service on the right track. Today, Amtrak gave a sneak peek of its electrified train service in Rhode Island. The 3-car train zoomed by at about 110 miles per hour on a section of the Northeast corridor. The new service will start in January. It will take passengers between Boston and New York in just 4 hours.
Across America tonight, a controversial art exhibit opens down in New York. The exhibit came under fire for its painting of the Virgin Mary decorated with elephant dung. But the negative press ended up drawing hundreds to the show. Mayor Rudy Giuliani is trying to pull the Brooklyn Museum's funding because of that exhibit.
This weekend, people in Virginia and the Carolinas are cleaning up the mess left behind from Hurricane Floyd. It's taken weeks for some to make a dent in the damage Floyd brought. North Carolina suffered the worst of it, with costs expected to surpass $6 billion.
And out of the west, several brush fires continue to burn in Southern California, but firefighters are making some progress tonight. A fire just north of San Diego has burned about 1,500 acres. Firefighters hope to have it out by tomorrow. They're also reporting progress on several other wildfires across the state.
Actor Arnold Schwarzenegger is terminating rumors that he plans to run for governor of California. The movie star says he's in the middle of his show business career, but he has thought about running many times. Schwarzenegger hints that one day he may run for governor, but he says his remarks about running in 2002 have been taken way too seriously.
Still ahead on a Saturday night, a day of fun and culture in Boston's Fenway neighborhood.
Trying to find the great pumpkin in Topsfield. But how is this year's crop compared to years past?
Plus, walking to find a cure. Thousands are getting ready to make strides against breast cancer.
Monday, she takes the ordinary and makes it extraordinary.
I go and look for beautiful things, and then I photograph that.
See how one local woman is turning a small hobby into a successful business. 7 on Assignment, Monday on 7 News First at 4.
At your New England Ford dealer, we're proud of our leadership claims. But the claims we value most come from our customers.
When the sun comes up, we're here. That's why we only drive Ford trucks.
Get an F-150 with an available Triton 5.4-liter V8 engine with the most torque and pulling power in its class.
They just plain work, or we don't.
The #1 selling truck on the planet, starting at just $15,390.
You want the toughest? This is it. We're proud to put our name on these trucks.
At your New England Ford dealer.
Here we go, team. There's one for you.
Thanks, Coach.
There you go, Slugger.
Thanks, Coach.
Hey, great game.
Thanks, Coach.
There you go. Did you get one yet?
Thanks, Coach.
Here you go.
Thanks, Coach.
You're very welcome.
Okay, that was
There's
a great
one for you.
Thanks, Coach.
Right now at Papa Gino's, buy a Primo at the regular price and get any additional pizza for just $6. So no matter how big your group is, there'll be something for the whole team to enjoy. Papa Gino's, a passion for pizza.
Just when you thought you knew everything, we go and print tomorrow's edition. It's the ink that you can't get out of your head.
Latchkey Kids. They enter an empty house every day. But is your child ready?
Some are ready earlier and some are ready later, and maybe some never are. But
when is the right time to leave your child home alone? Monday on 7 News at 11. This is 7 News with Kate Lurie, Christopher May, Michelle Michaels with weather, and George Smith with sports. on the news station.
It's the time of the year that Charlie Brown just loves. Time for the Great Pumpkin.
Pumpkins were on parade today at the Topsfield State Fair. Now, the fair was not certainly short of giant pumpkins in its weigh-off contest, some weighing in at over 700 pounds. But due to the lack of summer's rain and record-breaking temperatures, we're seeing smaller pumpkins this fall.
It's so bad with the drought and the high temperatures, some people have lost their entire crop. The number of pumpkins per acre is smaller, and also the size is also smaller, so the yields are way down.
Not all farmers are reporting a small yield, though. Those with irrigation say the pumpkins are brighter and just as plentiful this year, ready for the harvest.
An astronaut on the very first mission to the moon gives MIT the buzz on Mars. Buzz Aldrin was in Cambridge today as part of MIT's student-run Mars Week. The three-day conference will touch on a number of Mars-related topics. NASA recently lost a satellite studying the red planet. Another probe is set to land on Mars in December.
Thousands will be making strides against breast cancer again this weekend. The annual 5-mile walk takes walkers around the Charles River to raise money for breast cancer research. The walk takes place tomorrow, October 3rd. It starts at the Hat Shell on the Esplanade. Registration is between 8 and 10 a.m., and 7 News is a proud sponsor, so we'll look for you there.
And blue skies today made for a beautiful backdrop against the autumn splashes of color that are showing up in our neighborhood. But eventually tomorrow, gray skies will cloud the picture. The forecast is ahead.
All right, Mish, and also coming up, kids gather for one of the hottest conventions of the year.
7 News is brought to you in part by your New England Jeep dealers.
Getting legendary capability doesn't mean spending everything you have. In fact, lease a Jeep Cherokee Sport for $269 a month with 0 down and only $1064 due at signing, and you may even have a little change left over. Now get all this at no extra charge. See your New England Jeep dealer.
Pictures of Florida will fade over time. Postcards will bend and crack. Diary entries will age and wither. But you will never need these things when you leave here. Because the memories you make will remain within you forever. And there are so many ways to make them in Florida.
When it comes to style, sophisticated New Englanders have lots of choices. Fashionable Newbury Street, the clubs on Lansdowne, the newest hit in the theater district. So it should come as no surprise that when they want to arrive in style, they choose the Acura CL from their New England Acura dealers. And now, through November 1, generous factory-to-dealer incentives mean the biggest savings ever on the purchase or lease of the stylish Acura CL. But hurry, another opening is just around the corner.
Watching 7 News on the news station.
It's supposed to be autumn, but it looks more like winter in parts of Minnesota. Rain turned to snow yesterday in southern parts of the state, dumping 1 to 3 inches of the white stuff on the area. Last year, Minnesota's first snow fell in mid-October, so we're ahead of schedule.
Just makes me want to break out in Christmas Carol, doesn't it?
Would you like to?
No, I'd lose viewers.
You're going to give us a break. Mish Michaels is here for a song.
Good evening to you. It has been an interesting forecast over the last 24 hours in the northern plains. And yet again, there is some snow falling in the vicinity just west of Minnesota, and some of the hilly terrain of South Dakota could see upwards of 4 to 8 inches overnight tonight. Locally, no such thing in our forecast. We are going to enjoy the warmest day of the upcoming week tomorrow. And today certainly wasn't all that shabby. 69 degrees was the high. Tomorrow we will see more clouds, but warmer temperatures. Are already getting a hint of that warmer air mass. Temperature only 58 degrees now. Not as chilly as it has been at this time the last couple of nights. The dew point 53. This thanks to a southwesterly wind bringing up more moisture, preventing the temperatures from falling as much. And a rising barometer indicates we should have a fairly decent day tomorrow, although the trend will be for clouds to increase in our skies. Right now, temperatures mainly in the 50s across the region. As I mentioned, tomorrow will be the warmest day of the upcoming week. Temperatures 70 to 75 across the region, mid-60s along the southern-facing coast with a southwest wind off of the Atlantic, 65 to 70 in southern New Hampshire, where the clouds will be advancing along a cold front, which will eventually bring us into a very chilly air mass that is sprawled out over the northern plains. Take a look at Great Falls, 22. It doesn't look like we're going to be that cold initially, but eventually that cold air mass will bring us into a cool rain on Monday and then keep our temperatures seasonably chilly for much of the upcoming week. In fact, by Tuesday or Wednesday morning, some of the suburbs could be seeing their first frost. Kind of an interesting paradox at this time of year because the tropics are still active, and this big area of thunderstorms over the Yucatan Peninsula may even develop into a tropical system over the next 24 hours. It'll have no impact on our local forecast. Instead, this area of cloudiness, which is spreading some snow, as I mentioned, in the hilly terrain of Montana and South Dakota, is eventually going to link up only the energy with this line of clouds that is going to settle across southern New England tomorrow, and that's going to spawn an area of low pressure that's going to bring us those cool rains for Monday and Monday night. In the meantime, most of the clouds and certainly the showers are shooting over the hood of New England, but the clouds will continue to sink south and east over time, and by tomorrow we'll sort of get the sunshine squeezed out. By Monday, autumn feel is in the air. Area of low pressure passes to our south, and with a chilly, raw northeast wind, it is going to be a damp and cool day. That'll give you the shivers. Forecast goes this way. Overnight tonight, not as chilly as it has been over the last couple of nights. Mainly clear, overnight lows 48 to 58. Tomorrow we'll start out with some sunshine, but as I mentioned, the clouds are going to begin to advance from northwest to southeast. The last to cloud over will be the Cape and the Islands, with daytime highs tomorrow around 70 to 75. 60s for the Cape and the Islands after some early sunshine. That sun should probably go away here in Boston by around 3 or 4 in the afternoon. Monday, chilly and damp. Temperatures only in the mid-50s. After some morning clouds and drizzle, the clouds should begin to slowly break by Tuesday afternoon, but only a high of 59 degrees is likely, and temperatures will still be fairly seasonably cool by Wednesday, with probably a frosty start in the suburbs at that time. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Terry Casey's back in with you Sunday a.m.
Up next, a community festival in the Hub. We'll see how people got a taste of Fenway today.
In sports, Byronless Bruins open the season, and Big Mac opens up some space in the home run race.
Oh, hey, kids. Here's Uncle Jimmy.
No.
Hey, Jimmy, any day now. Oh, jeez. Oh, boy. Oh, that is hot. Oh, that's cold and that's hot. That is cold. That is ice cold. Who had double decaf latte? Oh, I did.
Some days it's all the help you need. The Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages. It's life listed alphabetically.
How do you create a room that says wow? See a Benjamin Moore dealer. That's how. Benjamin Moore is the brand professionals trust. It goes on easy in all the colors of your imagination. So if you can dream it, you can live it. And you can say wow for years to come. Benjamin Moore. Best paint, best results.
There's this place in the neighborhood where they have these outrageous you pick 2 platters. And basically, you pick 2 out of 3 entrees. It's 2 on 1 plate. You get the Cajun steak with all those sizzling spices, or a pile of succulent roasted garlic shrimp, or barbecue chicken with that sauce that sticks to your lips and your mind like some really interesting dream. It was too good to end, but it will, just like the you pick 2 platters. 2 entrees, 1 plate, only at Applebee's.
Help! I need somebody. Help! Not just anybody. Help! You know I need someone. Help!
Now there's an internet search engine that can actually help you find what you're looking for, with all the best stuff on the internet organized into logical, helpful categories. So don't just look smart. LookSmart.com.
Won't you please, please help me, help me, help me.
We didn't build the new full-size Tundra to take on other trucks. We built it to take on anything. Introducing the new full-size Toyota Tundra. Have we gone too far, or have others not gone far enough?
Hungry? Well, those hungry for a taste of some outdoor fun had a chance to experience a taste of Fenway today.
This was a time for fun and a chance to help out the community, too. Good cause. The 7th annual Taste of Fenway Festival featured Fenway's finest foods from local restaurants, face painting, arts and crafts, and fun for the entire family. At the same time, the festival raised money to help the Fenway Community Development Corporation.
Time for 7 Sports with George Smith.
The Bruins opened their season tonight against the Carolina Hurricanes, the team they knocked out of the playoffs last year. Day 1 of life without holdout Byron Defoe, and the Bruins can't get it done in the home opener. Milt Schmidt, the captain of the century, dropping off the ceremonial first puck. Robbie Tallis getting the start between the pipes in place of Defoe. And Tallis comes up with a gem in the first. Nice D. Things are looking good for the Bruins. They're looking even better when Ray Bourque brings up the first goal of the season for the Bees in the second period. He becomes the NHL's all-time leading scorer for a defenseman, 386 goals. All Carolina after that, and watch that. Lightning strike, Sammy Kapanen ties it up. A minute 20 later, Kent Manderville beats Tallis to make it 2-1. Then it's Manderville setting up Jeff Daniels in the third. A sweet centering pass. It gets by Tallis again, and the Bruins fall 3-1 to the Hurricanes. So what do the Bees think about Tallis?
He played very well. He kept us in there, and, you know, it was a one-goal game till, almost till the end there. So he did his job.
But we still have 81 more games, and not to panic right now. And there's no panic right now at all on my part. I know I can get better. I know I will get better. And it's just, I got to approach it a little bit stronger.
The lowly expansion Cleveland Browns, that's what stands between the Patriots and a perfect 4-0 season. The Browns averaging less than a touchdown a game. No reason why the Pats should lose tomorrow. So we're going to take the Patriots 28-10 in our pick this week. We've got 2 wins so far straight up, but we're an unacceptable 0-3 against the spread. On Sports Extra tomorrow night, Gary Gillis will have all the highlights and post-game interviews from Cleveland. Linebacker Chris Slade will be in studio along with Fred Smirlis and John Hanna. And the Eck will weigh in on the Sox playoff chances. Boston College hosting Northeastern at the Heights. BC fell behind early, but William Green muscles his way in from 2 yards out to tie it up. Northeastern goes up again on Jason Quinlan's keeper. That makes it 14-13 NU. But in the second quarter, Tim Gale fumbles. Frank Chamberlain scoops it up, a friendly bounce. He goes in for the touchdown, 2014 BC at the break. In the fourth, Quinlan's pass goes off the receiver into the hands of Ramon Johnson. He takes it 27 yards for the score. It's 33-14. NU would get one more score, a sweet catch by Michael Mack for the touchdown, but BC gets the win, 33-22 over Northeastern. Hofstra all over the UMass Minutemen this afternoon. First play from scrimmage. Vaughn Sanders says, NB, see you later. A 74-yard touchdown run, putting Hofstra up 7-0. Marcel Shipp ran for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. He answers with a 64-yard scamper of his own. Shipp goes over 100 yards rushing for the 16th straight time. A costly mistake here. Todd Bankhead gets picked. Robert Thomas comes up with it, and he goes right into the end zone. Hofstra goes on to win 27-14 over UMass. The defending champion Minutemen are now 1-3. Let's roll the scores. The Red Sox got a little Martinez magic from Ramon and Pedro tonight as Boston beat up on Baltimore. The Sox won their 93rd game of the season, one more than last year. Nomar Garcia-Parra set out tonight, but he will be back for the playoffs next week. Mike Stanley goes downtown off of Doug Johns in the 6th, a 2-run job breaking a scoreless tie. In the 8th, it's Lou Merloni's turn. He hits his first home run of the season, also a 2-run shot, and the Sox are out in front 4-0. That's enough for Ramon. He pitched 6 innings of 2-hit ball, no runs. He whiffs Brady Anderson and Mike Bordick in the 6th, 2 of his 3 Ks on the night. And look at this. Little brother Pedro in for an assist. Pedro went 1 scoreless inning in his final tune-up for the playoffs. Bye-bye Albert. Damon Buford added a grand slam, and the Sox cruise to an 8-0 victory. Home run derby this afternoon, Sammy Sosa silent, but Big Mac came out with a bang. Mark McGwire hitting his 64th home run of the season in the first inning against Sosa's Cubs. Career homer number 521, tying him with Ted Williams and Willie McCovey. The Revs are still alive in the playoff race. Joe Max Moore with the header. The Revs beat the Metro Stars 2-1, so they're 2 points ahead of Miami in the standings. Finishing touches tonight, Oklahoma's Brandon Daniels ran wild against Notre Dame. Take a look.
Pick is short. And taken by Brandon Daniels, who was a quarterback last year, and he has some running room at the 30, the 40. He's got blockers, and Daniels is going to go all the way for a touchdown.
89-yard kickoff return for the score, but the Irish rallied for the victory. That's sports for now. Gene Levanchi will be back in tomorrow night.
It's the hottest craze for kids, how Pokémon is drawing big crowds down south.
But first, here are tonight's winning lottery numbers. Best of luck.
Flight 437 went down an hour ago.
I'm telling you, she was on your airplane.
Harrison Ford, Kristen Scott Thomas.
Are you investigating something?
They were sitting together. Your husband, my wife. Random Parts, rated R. Opens everywhere Friday.
For the first time ever.
And only available in New England.
Announcing the all-new award-winning Subaru Forester Limited Edition.
Featuring a special value package.
With over $1,100 in discount savings.
Imagine one of the hottest-selling SUVs in America.
With over $1,100 off MSRP.
So don't wait.
Get to your local Subaru dealer now.
And save $1,100 off.
The all-new Subaru Forester Limited Edition.
Before it's too late.
Saturday night, blind date. 1600-watt hairdryer? A must. Diamond studs to blind him with more than your smile? What you need, what you want.
No place but service merchandise.
All diamonds on sale, 20 to 50% off. A 2-carat diamond bracelet, now $4.99. A 1.5-carat ring, just $5.99. Shop in-store, by phone, or online.
No place but service merchandise.
I work, my husband works. Now we're looking for furniture. Who's got time? Welcome to my life. So where do we shop? At Levitt's.
During this one-time preview to Levitt's anniversary sale, pay absolutely nothing for 1 full year. No down payment, no monthly payments, and no interest. You won't find a lower price, and we have one of the largest selections in the Boston area.
I spend my time doing what's important to me, not running all over town.
You love it at Levitt's.
We didn't have light block bottles when we were kids, so why do we need them now? Good question. Most of us grew up drinking whole milk. Well, the fat in whole milk actually helps protect the vitamins from the harmful effects of light. When you reduce the fat, the light does more harm. So today, when more of us are buying reduced fat milk and everything's well lit, Hood's light block bottle protects the vitamins and the taste.
Watching 7 News on the news station.
If you've got young kids, you probably know Pokémon is the hottest game of the year.
I only really know about rawhide bones, but I'll trust you. Hundreds of kids gathered in Texas to play each other in the fantasy card game. This is the first ever Pokémon convention in San Antonio. The game is based on an extremely successful Japanese cartoon that also airs here in the U.S. The game is expected to be one of the hottest crazes this Christmas. There we go with that Christmas theme again.
She's got dogs. That's why it's the rawhide bone comment.
I'm sure people don't think I chew on them. Thanks, Jonathan.
I'll interpret for you. That's going to do it for 7 News. I'm Jonathan Hall.
And I'm Kate Lurie. Saturday Night Live is next. Have a great night.
Good night.